stamp duty, LMI, conveyancer, mortgage broker, LVR, interest rate, real estate agent.
I know buying a home can be a daunting process for many people, especially if you're a first time buyer. You might be wondering, how much can I afford? Where should I buy it? What are the extra costs? How do I negotiate? How do I get a loan? And so on. Well, don't worry, I'm here to help you with all these questions and more. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of the home buying journey in Australia and how to avoid some common pitfalls along the way. I've also included a free homebuyer checklist in my bio as well, so you don't have to memorize all these steps. The first step is to work out what you can afford. To do this, you will need the help of a mortgage broker. They will be able to help you understand if you are eligible for any government grants, schemes, and how much you can borrow in total. They can also compare different lenders and find the best loan option for you. You will also need to understand the extra cost involved, such as stamp duty, conveyancing fees, inspection fees, and rates. These can vary depending on the state or territory you are buying in and the type and value of property, or whether you are a first time buyer or not. You can use some online calculators to estimate cost or ask your mortgage broker for guidance. And don't worry, most mortgage brokers don't charge you a fee, but not many will help you answer the questions. So make sure you find a good broker, as they are a key stakeholder in your home buying journey. And if you're struggling to find one, this guy here offers a free in-depth consultation. So head to the link in bio to connect with me. Once you have spoken to the broker, you will know how much to save for a deposit. Some home buyers aim for at least 20% of the property value as a deposit, as to avoid the lender's mortgage insurance, which is the extra cost that protects the lender in case you default on your loan. However, a lot of home buyers nowadays are entering the property market with just a 5% deposit, and they don't have to pay LMI under the First Home Guarantee Scheme initiated by the federal government to help home buyers in need. Your mortgage broker can explain these options to you in more detail. Therefore, ideally, you should take the first step even if you have $0 in savings, because that will give you a goal to work towards. Meanwhile, the third step is to start your research on what and where to buy based on your affordability and whether you want to buy a home to live in or an investment property. There are many factors to consider when choosing a location, such as proximity to public transport, schools, shops, parks, hospitals, and other amenities, the crime rate, the population growth, the future development plans, and the market trends. You can use some online tools such as the real estate and domain to search for properties and compare prices, features, and ratings. The step, which is not mandatory, is to get some help from a buyer's agent if you are unsure what place you want to buy. They are usually not cheap and can charge you around $10,000 to $20,000 based on their expertise. That's why this is not for everyone, but I just wanted to include this in case you have some extra money to splurge. A buyer's agent is a professional who represents your interest and help you find and secure the best property for your needs and budget. I've never used one, but I've heard from people that they are worth it. However, keep in mind that they are not regulated by any government body, and they may have conflict of interest or hidden fees. So make sure you do your due diligence before hiring one. Next step is to get a pre-approval. A pre-approval is a document by your lender confirming that they will lend you an agreed amount of money to help you purchase a property, subject to certain conditions being met. Getting a pre-approval will give you a realistic idea on how much you can borrow. It will give you confidence. It will also speed up the home buying process, and sellers will see you as a serious buyer. A mortgage broker will help you get a pre-approval. Please note that this approval lasts for 3 months only, so please ensure you only get this when you have your deposit saved and are actively looking to buy a property. Once you have saved for a deposit and have found out where you want to buy, the next step is to look for a conveyancer. A conveyancer is a licensed professional who handles the legal aspects of buying or selling property. They will prepare and review the contract of sale, conduct title searches and property checks, arrange for the transfer of ownership, calculate taxes and fees, and attend settlement on your behalf. You can find a conveyancer online or through referrals from friends or family. You should compare their qualifications, experience, reputation, fees, and services before choosing one. You should also ask them about their insurance cover and complaint handling process. If you struggle to find a conveyancer, I can surely recommend someone if you're looking to buy in Victoria, South Australia, or Queensland. Feel free to leave your details using the link in my bio and I'll get back to you. Now you can start inspecting properties. Go to open houses and look on websites such as the real estate and domain. It may take up to 20 to 40 inspections for you to find your ideal property. So don't rush this process because you're making a huge investment. so you would want to make sure you get what you're after. If you like any property, the next step is to call the real estate agent who showed you the property and make a verbal offer to see where you stand in line with other offers they have received. This is also the point where you would do any negotiations. Ensure you don't put a formal offer yet. We will come to that. On a side note, I would suggest you avoid auctions if possible, especially if you're a first-time buyer. Bidding at auctions is another skill, and as a first-time buyer, a lot of people bid emotionally and end up paying a higher price for a property than what it's worth. Coming back to putting a verbal offer over the phone, ensure you ask for the contract of sale, Section 32, and any other settlement documentation. Once you receive it, send it over to your conveyancer and ask if there is anything you need to know before you put in a formal offer. Your conveyancer will be able to tell you fine details, any caveats, any body cop, etc. that is associated with the property, so you can make an informed decision. Next step is to get a building and pest inspection. Ideally, you would want to do this before you put in a formal offer, but sometimes it is not possible to do because the property market is too hot and you don't have enough time to get it done. In that case, you can jump this step and follow the instructions in the next step. But if you're buying in an auction, it is crucial to get this done before the auction day, even if you don't end up getting the property, because this step can help you avoid buying a property that has hidden issues that may cost you a lot of money and hassle to fix in future. Second, it can give you confidence and peace of mind that you're making a sound investment decision based on the true state of the property. Third, it can give you leverage to negotiate a lower price or ask for repairs if the inspection reveals any major faults or damages. If you're happy with your conveyancer finding and the building and pest inspection report, you can put in a formal offer with the help of your conveyancer. You would have to pay a holding deposit at this point, which is usually 0.25% of the purchase price. It is refundable if your offer is not accepted or if you withdraw your offer within the cooling off period, which is usually between 2 and 5 business days, depending on the state or territory. However, if your offer is accepted and you proceed with the purchase, the holding deposit will be deducted from the final deposit. It is a good idea to include a few conditions in your formal offer, such as subject to finance and subject to building and pest inspections. The subject to finance clause gives you a certain period of time, usually between 14 and 21 days, to obtain unconditional approval from your lender. This means that your lender has assessed your financial situation and the property value and agreed to lend you the amount you need. If you fail to get an unconditional approval within the specified time frame, you can cancel the contract and get your deposit back. The subject to building and pest inspection clause gives you another period of time, usually between 7 and 14 days, to hire qualified inspectors to check the property for any structural defects, pest infestations, or other issues that may affect its value or safety. If the inspections reveal any major problems that were not disclosed by the seller or their agent, you can either negotiate a lower price, ask for repairs, or cancel the contract and get your deposit back. Next step is to conduct a final inspection. This is usually conducted a week before the settlement. It is important because it allows you to check for any damage or issues that occurred during the 30 and 90-day waiting period. You should inspect the entire house inside and out for any sign of damage that may have occurred. You also need to check to see everything still works, particularly electrical outlets and lighting, as well as plumbing, water heaters, air conditioning, and gas heaters. If you find a problem with the property at the final inspection phase, notify your estate agent or the conveyancer. They will try to find a solution that all parties are satisfied with. If the repairs are significant or the seller is unwilling or unable to fix them in this time frame, your solicitor may be able to negotiate a reduction in the sale price. It's worth repeating that if you find the damage after settlement, you will be liable for the cost of repairs. So final inspection needs to be as thorough and as detailed as possible. Settlement is the final stage of home buying process, where the ownership of property is transferred from seller to you and the balance of the purchase price is paid to them. Settlement usually occurs between 30 and 90 days after signing the contract of sale, depending on what was agreed between you and the seller. On this day, your conveyancer will meet with the seller's conveyancer and exchange checks and documents. They will also notify relevant authorities such as the Land Titles Office, local council, water authority, and an electrical company about the change of ownership. And that's it. You just wait for the settlement date and then collect your keys from your agent. Make sure you keep some money in your bank account for the settlement day to cover the settlement cost. Your conveyancer will be able to tell you how much roughly you will need. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you want me to make a video to explain any of these steps in further details, such as researching the location or negotiation based on building and pest inspection report, please let me know.